Hello everybody, this is MrYourWilly for another video tutorial. This is how to make an infection map work. Now if you guys haven't seen my Slayer, how to set up a Slayer map, or how to make a Slayer map updated tutorials, you should probably go back to my tutorial menu and click on those. If you want to quickly click on the box in the upper right or upper left there, and it'll bring you to the first part of these the two tutorials. I'm going to go ahead and start this off. So let's say you just made this fort, but you also want it to work for infected. Well, what do you need to do? Well, the first thing you need is spawn points. Well, you just created spawn points while you were making your Slayer map, so why aren't they working here? Well, the reason why is I told them to be game specific true. So they're not going to show up for infected because they're not considered a team game. They're also not considered a free-for-all game, so the free-for-all ones won't show up. The reason why this is because the team dynamic changes constantly. So you're going to have to set up new starting points. If you wanted the red team the way they were, you could have just left that as false for game-specific true. But for me, I didn't want to do that. I wanted them to start in different spots. So what do I need? Well, I need a spawn point for them. So I'm going to make a zombie spawn point out here. Then you got to remember one thing. Red is human because they're fleshy. So they're warm-blooded, so they're red color. Blue team is zombie because they're cold-blooded, they're dead, they're, blue in the face. So remember those color cues when you're setting this game up, because blue means infected, red means human. I'm going to say true. Now under game label, you don't need to label this anything. You can leave it the way it is. Or you can say it's infection to remind you that it's an infection game type. What I always do is infection spawn. This is, first off, a lot of other tutorials will say that this is required. It is absolutely not required in any way, shape, or form. You do not need infection spawn. The only reason it's there is so that when you're looking at it, you're like, is this spawn point for a specific game? Like let's say you're in basic editing and you look, oh, it's for the infection spawn point. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and put one more out here. Team blue. And he's going to look over here. Alright. So we got the blue team set up. Now let's set up the humans. All the humans are going to be also infection spawn because it doesn't really change who spawns there. The only thing that changes that is the team color. I'm going to put one human there. And one human here. Alright. Now that you got that set up, your respawn points are going to stay the same because you didn't mess with those at all. So if a human or a zombie dies, they're going to respawn there. But if you want a human to respawn in a specific location, make sure you set up this so that that human will respawn in that specific location. Or if you want the zombie to respawn in a specific location and not randomly, set up those. Just make sure you set them to be game specific true. Other than that, you can leave the respawn points the way it is. The only other thing you need to make this game work besides spawn points is a safe haven. You have to have at least one of those in your map. And I always use the hill markers. You can use capture plates, flag stands, pretty much anything with an area around it will work. I use these because they don't show anything visually besides the flag, like this. Shows a flag in editor, but it won't show anything when you're actually playing the game besides the area around it. And you got to make sure that when you're setting it up under advanced, it's game specific true, and game type label is infection haven. You just need one of those in your map to get it to work. And if you want, you can put it floating up here above this tree if you wish. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is if you want your game to actually play with safe havens, you probably want to put more than one. You probably want to put maybe 5 or 6 around your map randomly. That way I can randomly choose one. Another thing you can do is to have a vehicle here. So I'm going to spawn another vehicle. Well, vehicles are fun because you can drive around and run away from the zombie, but you can also do a fun thing with it. You can set a shape to a vehicle. I'm going to set a box up. As long as the box is the shape of the vehicle, plus a little bit more so that whoever's in it's actually in it, you can make this a safe haven. All you have to do, game specific true, and safe haven, and there you go. There's a vehicle that's a safe haven, and this person can be in it, and the moment that it becomes a safe haven, he's free from getting infected by the zombie. So you can do that too. Really anything with the area can become a safe haven, but that's the only requirement to making a infection map. You're officially done. If you've done those two things, spawn point and safe haven, you've got an infection map all set up and ready to go. I hope this tutorial helped you. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave them below. If you wish to see any of my other video tutorials, click the menu button in the upper right hand corner there, and it will bring you to my interactive menu where you can view all my other previous, past, and future tutorials that I have completed. This is MrYourWilly signing off.